What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube and Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another episode of the Just Chillin' podcast. This time a breaking news episode. Excuse my hair. I literally got out the shower and then had to rush to make sure I wasn't late to the stream. I got one person backstage already. I don't know if they noticed. I was kind of breathing heavily, catching my breath. But shout out to everybody in here. We got Edward Chan, Ligma, Mike Nixon, Soul Party, Cresley, and Giants World. Hit that like button, guys. Hit the subscribe if you're new. Share out the stream. This is going to be a good one. Very interesting one. And I'm going to take probably the first 5 or 6 minutes at most here just to give my thoughts, because as usual, it's a call-in stream. And then after that, it's open floor to everybody else. So I'm just going to take some time at the beginning right now to say my piece, and then we're going to get into it. So the Giants have officially hired Brian Daboll, the man you see right there on the side, the Bills offensive coordinator, to be the 22nd head coach of the New York Football Giants. I believe I got that number right. I think it is 22nd. And let me know if the music is too loud, but I think you guys could hear me just fine. But, let me know just in case. And Brian Daboll was basically one of the 2 finalists that we all knew this race was going to come down to, that we all knew this head coaching race was going to come down to. It was between the 2 Brians, Brian Flores and Brian Daboll. I know there were technically other finalists, when you consider the guys that got second interviews. Leslie Frazier, who we literally finished his second interview just a couple hours ago. I'm not sure if there was anybody else, but technically speaking, I don't think Brian Flores ever got a second interview, which is something interesting to note. But disregard all of that, Brian Daboll was the name we've been hearing about and that a lot of Giants fans wanted to be the head coach for weeks now. You could say even about a month now. Much like Joe Schoen was a name that was talked about. In fact, during the season, as soon as Joe Schoen's name really started to got steam towards the end of the season, obviously in the offseason where we were looking for a general manager, Daboll's name was immediately connected to him. There's a reason for this. They have worked with each other before. They have good chemistry together. They have a line of communication, and they'd be on the same page. You cannot say those things for the former regime. You can't say those things for Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman, and you can't say them for Pat Shurmur and Dave Gettleman, especially with all the background news that came out about Dave and how he sort of behaved in the front office and things like that. The DeAndre Baker pick is a good one, for example. Pat Shurmur really wanted DeAndre. Dave was kind of iffy on him, and basically when Dave made the pick, he went and told Shurmur, if this guy doesn't pan out, I don't want you to complain to me, or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing from that very famous in-depth research article that came out last month. And that's obviously not a good that's obviously not a good line of communication between a head coach and a general manager that you'd want. And I'll definitely do that in a second, Eli. As soon as I'm finished kind of giving my thoughts, I'll post that link on Twitter. Thank you so much. If you could share it out, man, that would mean a lot. And then with Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman, we never got any sort of heated things between them. But everybody always brought up that when we made the Kadarius Toney pick, that the Dave Gettleman didn't look to be celebrating like Joe Judge was and things like that. He kind of was almost throwing a tantrum a little bit. So that line of communication, right? And working together, being on the same page, something that's great. And something that, that was really touted between Daboll and Joe Schoen. And then, of course, I guess the second biggest, or probably the biggest, actually, reason we got Brian Daboll was his offensive prowess in the past 2 years with the Bills. He's been the Bills offensive coordinator for 4 years. Of course, the offense really came on the past 2. He's credited along with the other guy that's on screen, Ken Dorsey, and I am going to talk about Ken Dorsey in a little bit. There's a reason his name is in the title. There's a reason his picture is up here, guys. He is credited heavily, and he should be credited heavily, because he built that Bills offense. He was the guy in charge of it from the beginning. He was the guy that built it, developed it, got players in it that worked with his scheme. And I've mentioned before, other than Stephon Diggs, weapons-wise, the Bills' weapons are, they're not like elite guys. They just work in an elite offense, if that makes any sense. And so he deserves credit for that. And the Giants' offense is the exact opposite of that. Makes sense. Bring him in. He was probably the best offensive candidate out on the market. He is going to be a first-time head coach, so there are risks, but bring him in, get him to try and fix this offense, get him to try and work with Daniel Jones, which is another thing that's been very consistent so far over the past couple of weeks. Mara has wanted to, actually give Daniel Jones a chance. He's admitted that they've done everything in their power to kind of mess this kid up. Shane has said that he's a Jones guy, and even Daboll, it's already been reports coming out and saying that he is a believer in DJ. Now, I will get to the Ken Dorsey thing. I'm not going to take up too much of y'all time before I open it up to everybody. But there has been tweets from two guys that have been saying, and the reason I trust them is because these two guys, Jordan Schultz and Bobby Thompson on Twitter, they've been saying for a while, they've been pretty consistent in saying that they believe Brian Daboll is going to be the next Giants head coach, and that came true. Now, along with Jordan Schultz, this is what he put out. I'm going to share this Chrome tab real quick. Hopefully this works here, and I will zoom in so you guys could probably get a better view of it and whatnot. As you could read right here, yeah, there you go. I'll read it right off. He says, as expected, Bills are making, oh wait, my bad, let me read this one first, then I'll read that one. As I reported earlier this week, Daboll wanted to be in a package deal with Ken Dorsey. He's getting his wish. Source says Dorsey is currently in negotiations with the Giants to be their new OC. Bills Mafia heads down to the Meadowlands. This was made literally like a minute or two after it was announced that Brian Daboll was the head coach. And then he then quote tweeted it saying, as expected, the Bills are making an effort to retain Dorsey. The issue for Buffalo is that the Giants' negotiations revolves around a big payday. They're making a strong push for Daboll and then for Dorsey. Now, Dorsey, of course, was the quarterback coach over at Buffalo. So they're trying to get everybody over here that could just turn this offense around and bring it to something good. And then the Bobby Thompson, he tweeted about an hour ago saying Brian Daboll is bringing in Ken Dorsey as his OC. You know, he's saying it with a certainty, which is kind of dangerous, but I mean, it's something to take note of. And then I'm going to read off Daboll's introductory or not introductory, but like the statement he made. And we're going to get some callers in here, man. He said, it is an honor and privilege to be named the head coach of the New York Giants. Thank you to Joe Shane for believing in me, and to John Mara and Steve Tisch and their families for entrusting me with this position. My immediate goal is to assemble a coaching staff, a strong staff that emphasizes teaching and collaboration and making sure our players are put in the position to be their best and ultimately to win games. That's why all of us do this, to teach, to be successful, to develop talent, and to win. I have a pretty good idea where our fan base's feelings are right now, and I get it. I promise we will work our tails off to put a team on the field that you will be proud to support and give us the results that we all want. Now, in terms of any remaining thoughts I have before I get you guys on, it's just that we know just up to a couple days ago, it was heavy rumors surrounding Brian Daboll potentially wanting Don Wink Martindale to be his defensive coordinator. And all I'm going to say in regards to that is that if Wink comes here and if Ken Dorsey comes here, that's the best Giants coaching staff assembled since like 2010. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think you guys realize how good that is. It's not an exaggeration. You got one of the best offensive minds in the league. You got one of the best quarterback coaches in the league who's going to be the offensive coordinator. And you got Wink, who's like top 3, top 5 defensive coordinator in the league. That's if it happens. It's a big if. But I'm just putting it out there now, you know, just saying. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for checking out my channel, The Hub, here on Giants YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you hear every time I put out a video. Like it, share, and subscribe, and I'm out.